my friend, he told me, "Oh yeah, Dante Pettis, he might become the next OBJ," and I laughed. You know, he's that's
too much, right?
Overreacting. It's too much. But you know, after watching him string together all these, you know, these special, you know, practice after practice after practice, burning every corner, you know, I believe that he should become the next OBJ, Odell Beckham.
Are you listening?
Damn. Ronbo Sports here, representing the Niner Empire organization worldwide, and from one end of this planet to other. How you doing? And fam, 49ers football, you know, it never ends. Well, I'm glad you had me in to let me talk some 49er football. Woo, fam, you know, it's such a different atmosphere this year than it was last year. I mean, it is so encouraging, those camp reports coming out each and every day. Nothing but good stuff. They got the carnival atmosphere going on out there. Oh, and the rookies. That exhibition they put on as they run out and pump the crowd up. you know that's Joe Staleyism, right? Well, I love Joe. I'll let Joe play another 5 years. Man, I love this guy, man. He keeps the fun going. Now, all we need to do is win while we're having fun. But it'll keep on going for a while. We got another few days. Well, next week it stops being serious. Oh, it starts being serious, actually. But you know what? It's okay. We're playing the Cowboys. It's an exhibition game, preseason exhibition. So we're going to get a look at some of the rookies and some of the guys that are trying to make the team. That's going to be a lot of fun. Yeah, you know what I don't understand, though, during the course of these workouts every day? We're talking about Kyle Shanahan football. When do the guys go undercover and do the things they got to do things like make Jalen Ramsey say things like, they didn't cut me up, they schemed us. When are they going to work on those schemes? Now I figure early in the morning they must come in for an early session, I guess. And in the afternoon they have the exhibitions that are made for public consumption, because you can't be doing all the stuff they do out in front of everybody. There could be Seahawks people sitting out there. There could be Cardinal people, Rams people. Anybody on a schedule could be out there knowing that they're holding those public exhibitions. So I really wondered, when do they do the do? The exhibition is fun, though. And they're doing all drills. The drills are designed for the effect that you're getting. You see them out there and we're going, ooh, that's what it's for. That's why when guys like Marquise Goodwin, these are the show toppers, and they might as well put signs outside with their pictures on it. Like with big billboard with all kind of stuff surrounding it. The stars of the show, Marquise Goodwin, Jerick McKinnon, because each guy every day at least scores at least 2 or 3 times. And that's not a knock on the defense. As we've seen Richard and Marquise in that go route, there's nobody that's going to keep up with him, okay? It's all a big joke. You could put anybody you want and on a go route with Marquise. If he can't bump or anything like that, Marquise is going to smoke him. It's just no big deal. That's why I said people overreacted on that. If we were in a real situation, Richard would have put the bump on him. He would have done several things. There would have been players moving about. There would have been a lot of shifting about. So it's not a big deal. We can't say the defense sucks because of that. And Jerick McKinnon, though, Jerick McKinnon is doing a lot of things. I'm not sure. This is why I'm pretty sure whatever he's doing, that's for real. We're going to see a lot of teams suffer this year behind the hands of Jerick McKinnon and that blazing speed. So it's a good thing to watch. And as I say, it's good for the public to watch. And Marquise Cooper took a day off, right? Guess who takes over? Dante Pettis comes in and holds a clinic on how to run routes and gain separation. Ooh, the crowd was loving it. And that's what it's meant to do. I mean, Dante Pettis is, it's like Garçon said earlier, this guy's going to help us this year. Him and Kendrick Bourne. And it's so true. But Richard Sherman did get in the act, and he did what he does in the red zone. They had red zone drills, and Rich was out there doing the Rich. Don't even try to run a fade on him. Rich was like, I think they worked him 3 times. Rich said, no, on every time. So Richard Sherman is looking good, and he's You know, it doesn't take a lot of energy or stamina to play the red zone, not for a guy like Richard Sherman. Here's a guy that does everything pretty much now, at this point in his career, everything's by instinct. He is just that good. You're not going to get anything on Richard Sherman. You're not going to run a fade on him. It's not going to happen. He did it. So the red zone drills, success to some degree. We had several guys that did well in the red zone drills. So that's okay. We'll be fine. We're going to keep working on it. We got weeks to go before the real season gets underway, and they'll get it down. Not worried about it. Hey, with that said, though, I do want to, I got Aaron 10 of Niner Noise. He was out watching practice. I want to get his eyewitness accounts as to what happened out at Levi's Stadium. Let's go check him out on the cam. Niner fam, football season is raging. And fam, unlike the shameful years of 2015 and 2016, 2017, half of 2017, not all of it, half of 2017 was money. Niner Noise, you recognize him? That's Aaron Dan. He is the man that brings up those scintillating articles that you gotta read and keep reading and keep reading. He's got a good point. He's got a good point. Aaron, what's up?
How you doing, Ronbo? I'm doing well.
Great to have you here today. And I know that you just came from earlier practice today.
Oh yes, it was great. It was great.
Aaron, there's a guy specifically. Now we're going to talk about a lot of things, but and Aaron's he's gonna run you all over. But specifically, Aaron, the name is Dante Pettis. Blue hair and everything else.
Dante.
The guy is strange. He likes cats, but he can play football. Aaron, man, I'm thinking. He's increasingly getting more comfortable. Those routes are getting sharper. Wait, Aaron, let me do his move. Step 1, 2, wham! The dude explodes either left or right. That's just
pretty accurate.
There's no way to keep up with that move, man. Aaron, give me some more Dante, man. What's up with him?
Okay, so Dante Pettis, I truly believe that he has the ability to become a true star in this league, a superstar in this league. Because, last Friday I also went to training camp, and my friend, he told me, oh yeah, Dante Pettis, he might become the next OBJ. And I laughed,
Yeah, no.
He's that's
too much, right?
Overreacting. It's too much. But after watching him string together all these these special practice after practice after practice, burning every corner, I believe that he should become the next OBJ, Odell Beckham. It's actually insane because I'm really excited about him. Mm-hmm. And what's really special about him, why I say OBJ, it's because his route running is just incredible. His route running, you can tell there's a special type of route running that I like. These that just has the ability to burn every corner, get open, and I only see this type of special type of route running from two guys in the NFL. That's first Odell Beckham Jr.
Mm-hmm.
and second Antonio Brown.
Mm-hmm.
These type of guys, you can tell when they run their routes, right? Each route they run, they have this special type. I can't even explain it because when you watch these guys run routes, they just move very freely, and it's great. And Dante Pettis, he runs his routes this exact same as these two. So and combine that with his sure hands and his special ability as a punt returner, kick returner. He set the NCAA record for return touchdowns. Man, he is going to be a superstar in this league right off the bat, year one. So I don't think he's going to necessarily start right away at receiver, since we already have Pierre Garçon, Marquise Goodwin, Trent Taylor, Kendrick Bourne starting over him. But right away, he's going to make strides. He's going to take the league by storm as a returner. And, I'm sure Kyle Shanahan is going to find any way he can to incorporate him in the offense every Sunday. And I'm really excited about that.
Aaron, you mentioned try to incorporate him in some way. Does it look to you, could he be a red zone guy?
Well, the thing is that he still needs to work on, making contested catches, because I watched him on, some drills, he dropped a couple of balls where, the corner's right on him, And the corners rarely ride on him because he's usually always open. But in the times that the corners have been on him, he's it's kind of like a 50-50 ball. He has a 50% chance of making the catch, and he needs to, in order to become a true red zone target, you need to have above a 50% chance of making the catch. And but I feel like he's just a rookie. This is his first training camp. He has a lot of time to develop, and I think that he can evolve into a red zone target. But right now, I think the red zone targets right now, Pierre Garçon, George Kittle. And can I talk about George Kittle right now? George Kittle.
You can definitely talk about George Kittle right now. I can talk about George Kittle all day, man. God, this guy's good.
George Kittle, he's going to break out this season for sure. I'm 100% positive. He's going to be known as a top tight end in this league by the end of the season. Okay, Jimmy Garoppolo today, he did not have the best day throwing the ball. He misfired on a bunch of deep throws, and he usually excels in short intermediate throws, but I remember in 7-on-7 drills, Kittle was wide open, 20 yards down the sideline. Garoppolo, he overthrew him. The ball went past the sideline, and Kittle, he tried to jump up for it, but he couldn't make the catch. But like a couple minutes later, Kittle, he runs a 15-yard corner route. Jimmy, he makes a better throw, but it's still kind of inaccurate. It's more towards the sideline, and it's kind of out of reach for Kittle. But you know what Kittle does? He reaches out with one hand and just snags it out of midair, and he's gonna be good. He's very involved on the field.
Kittle made a one-hander today?
Yeah, he made a one-hander, and it was great. It was awesome. Yeah.
Man. You see, because between him and we got the new guy in, what's his name? Sutton. Some new guy we just got.
Sexton, I think.
Sexton. We just got him the other day, right? So, between him, Sexton, and we're going to see more of Sexton because I don't know anything about him yet. I mean, you may know more about him. Also, you got we still got Selleck time. So Selleck
time.
Yeah, we still got three guys. Selleck made a one-hander. Well, not a one-hander, but he made the stop and still managed to make the catch. But the guys are out there making acrobatic catches. If you're going to have guys making acrobatic catches, they need to be your tight end. They got all the long, they got the range, they got everything else. So I tell you,
they're huge.
I love me some tight end play, man.
And what I really loved about watching Kittle make that one-hander is because I remember last year, I think it was week 5 against Indianapolis. In the beginning of that game, Kittle, he had a couple of drops, and that kind of got me worried because he was kind of inconsistent last year on catching the balls. He dropped a couple, but right now he looks as sure-handed as ever, and I'm really excited for him to take the league by storm.
Him and the jugs machine. Marquise Goodwin, George Kittle. Last year we were famous for dropping the ball. We were like leading the league in drop passes.
Yeah.
The jugs machine had to be repaired a couple of times after about 5 weeks, man. They were working that thing to death. And right up next to it, I says, good. Stop dropping the ball. You guys are killing us. And everybody was blaming Hoyer. I said, I understand the hate for Hoyer, but come on, some of those passes are right on the money. You guys are dropping them. So, Hoyer's gone. Guys are working out. Jimmy comes in. Now all of a sudden they look like all pros. I love it. You mentioned Pierre Garçon, right? And I heard a report. Well, I'll go ahead and say Matt Mayoko put out a report saying that it was not a lock that Pierre makes his team. I don't know what that means. Are we talking about because of maybe a slowing down, maybe the injury still lingering? Did it? You know why I say that? Because I'm starting to become partial towards two guys on our receiving corps team. That is, of course, Kendrick Bourne, and as you just mentioned, Dante Pettis. And it's just I'm talking about a guy's career here. I just I'm wondering. You're right. Pettis is probably going to take some time because he hears footsteps and he does freak out. And that's got to be something he's got to get. But Kendrick Bourne, get an assessment on Kendrick and why maybe Matt Mayoko might not be so far off about Garçon, or do you think that's just a myth?
Well, Kendrick Bourne, he's another guy that you're happy to see improve a lot, and he can definitely tells that he's improved a lot. You know, over all the entire offseason, he's been posting videos on social media, you know, showing off, you know, his individual training. He's been working really, really hard this offseason, and I really admire and appreciate him for that. And you can tell in training camp, just watching him live, that he has really improved. Because right now, he's actually gone. I don't know if you can like actually like increase your speed throughout like one off season, but like he looks way faster than he was last year. Yeah, and he looks way faster. He's much more focused, quicker in his routes, and his hands they're very good, very reliable. And he caught a touchdown today in the red zone during red zone drills from Jimmy. And yeah, okay, that brings me to Garçon. And you know, I actually think that Mayoko he has a point. You know, I think it's a little far fetched, but he has a point because Garçon he hasn't made that many plays in training camp. You know, today I saw Jimmy Garoppolo. He had a Garçon. He was throwing to Garçon on an in route, like around a 15 to 20 yard in route, and it was almost picked by Jaworski Tart. You know, they don't really have that chemistry going on yet. And I know that, you know, the first 2-3 days of training camp, Garçon didn't even have a single catch from Jimmy, and you know he's not you know standing out in practice so far. But I think that we're gonna have to wait until preseason to see, you know, his roster status. And I would like to trade Garçon actually, but if you think about it, when's the last time you've seen a team trade for like an older receiver, you know, over 30 years old? Because that's the hard part, because teams, they don't really want to trade for, you know, older receivers, and we might have to end up cutting him. But I'm hoping that Jimmy and Garçon, you know, they establish a connection, a rapport to, you know, because that would be an amazing combo. I know Garçon, I thought he was really he was solid last year. You know, I remember that Rams game that he had, and that deep ball, I mean, that like I think 50-yard catch against Trumaine Johnson. That was great, and that toe drag against the sideline. You know, I'd really like to keep him. Yeah, you know, but I'd really like to keep him on this team because, you know, he's an old but productive and really tough receiver. I still remember that truck he had against Monte Nicholson in the Redskins game, and he just trucked that DB out of there. It was great, but yeah, he is. But, right now, Garçon is a little bit of a question mark. But especially with the young guys, you know, I could easily see, because Kyle Shanahan, I don't think, you know, he doesn't care, you know, he doesn't care who you are. Yeah. I think that he's gonna put the best guys that he has on the field. Always. And if Dante Pettis, I think he's a threat to Garçon's, you know, wide receiver one status. And if Pettis continues to, you know, show off during camp, and Garçon and Jimmy, if they keep on, you know, not establishing like a connection with each other, I don't think it looks good for Garçon.
Oh man, and you know what's funny about, like, you were looking at Pettis, you see also Trent Taylor has got to come out smoking this year. Here's a guy that can threaten every position on the tree. Well, the only guy who's safe is actually Marquise Goodwin, who, let me run this by you. Could Marquise Goodwin eventually end up being the number one on this roster?
I believe so, yes. Most definitely. Marquise Goodwin, he's probably one of the most underrated guys in the NFL, both on the field and off the field, because as you know, Marquise Goodwin, he's probably one of the best, if not the best person in the league. He's just a great guy. He's done so many things for this community. He's done so many great things for his family, and you know, that's amazing to see. But as a receiver right now, he looks very, very polished. You know, his route, another great route runner that Kyle Shanahan has on his team. He catches the ball with ease now. You know, he was kind of inconsistent last year.
In the beginning of the year, terrible.
I kind of can't forgive him for that long drop. Remember against the Carolina season opener? Oh,
we We might have won that game, actually.
That
Because
would've
Cam
changed the
Newton was
momentum to start the
terrible that game. And he makes that catch, he changes the whole... Okay, it's over. We're past
yeah, it's over. We gotta forget about that. But Marquise Goodwin, he is very polished. He proved last year at the back half of last year that he's not just a deep threat. He's an actual NFL wide receiver. He's capable of getting open. He's capable of catching the ball. He's capable of getting yards after the catch. And he's a dangerous weapon on this offense. And I can actually see him as emerging as the number one guy on this team.
Brock Coyle. I'm reading this. Brock Coyle hurts his hip. He's out for the season. Okay, Eric Armstead. Now Brock Coyle. Jimmy Ward is running around. I'm too stiff. Okay, these are... I don't want to wish anything bad on Brock Coyle because I think he's a great football player and he does great things on special teams. And last year he filled in for us nicely. But I got to tell you, and I've shamelessly got to say, I'm developing a crush on Fred Warner. I want to see him out there. Every time I hear about a play or see or hear something. Hey, did you get a chance to see the linebackers today? How does Fred look?
Yes, well, first of all, I'm going to talk about the linebackers. Something I saw today that really, it was interesting. All right. So today, the intensity was particularly high during practice. Like everyone was on edge, and it was just there's this intense atmosphere today, and that was great to see because intensity between players is always good. And the level of competition, I think it just it reached a boiling point because I was watching the one-on-ones, and all of a sudden, the audience, they start yelling and pointing at the linebacker group where they were doing their drills. And all of a sudden, I see shoving and, punches being thrown.
Whoa.
Yeah. Okay, I don't know why, so it was, it got, cleared up quickly after, right? And I don't know why no beat writers said anything about this, but I don't know. It was... I don't really know if I saw any punches being thrown, but there was definitely shoving because, and I don't know who did it. It got cleared up right after, and, it's great to see because competition between a team, that's always great. As Kyle Shanahan loves to say, competition brings out the best in everyone.
But Aaron, who could you identify the people throwing that you might have thought was throwing punches? Did you see any numbers?
Oh, no, it was a big group, so I couldn't really make out any numbers.
Okay.
I was watching the one-on-ones, and I wish I'd seen it. I asked everyone around me. I was like, "Hey, did you see who's fighting?" And they're like, "Oh no!" They were also watching the one-on-ones.
Right.
And then they they heard the audience. The rest of the people here, the rest of the fans, they started yelling and pointing at the linebacker group. And I wish I'd seen it. Because that'd be interesting.
Yeah.
But that was just an interesting thing I saw today. But moving on to Fred Warner. So Fred Warner, I think I'm really high on this guy. He's a rookie linebacker from BYU, drafted in the 3rd round, and he's a thumper. He's a tackling machine, and that's what I love about him. And he also excels in coverage too.
Yeah.
He is basically, when I was watching his tape, all I saw was him just crushing people, and there weren't exactly hard hits, but he's got a great tackling technique. He always brings the people down, and that's all you need in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
You don't necessarily need to bring the hammer, but you need to bring the people down. You got to be smart, and that's what Fred Warner is. And Reuben Foster, I love Foster to death. He's more of a hard hitter, but so Warner, he kind of he balances it out. And what I'm kind of alluding to here is a potential Reuben Foster, Fred Warner starting combo. And I think that's exciting to see because they're two young, promising linebackers. And even though I saw Malcolm Smith back on the field today, and he looked healthy. It was his first time, putting on the pads in about a year. he suffered a torn pectoral last year in the open training camp.
Right.
And, he looked healthy. He looked solid. But, right now it's all about rookie Fred Warner. And I hope that he takes his spot. And, this is, what we're talking about is great because, it just shows the surprising amount of depth that this linebacker position has.
God, yes.
Because we got, Foster and Warner. We got Malcolm Smith. And I think Brock Coyle, I think he's out for the week, just for the week.
Just for the week? Okay, because the write-up might have been wrong.
I think it's for the week.
Because it seemed like that.
Yeah, so Coyle, he's a solid player. And, he's also a surefire tackler. He knows how to bring people down.
Yeah.
I've always liked this guy.
Yeah.
And, I think the inside linebacker position, I think we're good on depth. And, happy about that.
Corey Toomer's in there, a couple other guys. I don't know, but there's Zachoa. There's about 2 or 3 guys. But I keep wondering, you can't keep 18 linebackers. The cut this year is going to be just ridiculously difficult. It just goes beyond belief as to who they can keep and who they can't. Because I was going to also ask you about Richie James, because I'm thinking, every time you read about Richie James, I'm watching, nice catch by rookie Richie James. And there's that name James over and over and over again. But then Aaron Burbridge comes into the picture. He's, you can't get rid of Aaron Burbridge. What are you going to do, coach? So I'm thinking, it's a tough time, man.
Right now, okay, let me talk about Richie James first for real quick. Because on Friday, he really stood out in practice. He caught everything coming his way. And he got open. He was a standout that day. Today, he wasn't really standing out, but he had this great dump catch, short dump pass to Richie James. Yeah. And, there were 2 big inside linebackers right next to him, on both sides of him. And he caught the ball, and he got popped by both of those linebackers at the same time. Ooh. And he held on to it. Oh. Ball didn't go to the ground. Ball did not go to the ground. He held on to it. It is definitely a catch. And, I'm glad that Richie James, he might have the best hands on this team. And that's saying something because...
that is saying something.
That is definitely saying something because our receiving core is very talented. So Richie James, someone to watch. And what was the other question you had?
Because I said Aaron Burbridge keeps flying in the picture all of some of these great catches, and also he's got the dual ability to play special teams at a high level. So God, coach, what are you gonna do with Aaron Burbridge? You gonna cut him? Because he looks like to me one of the odd men out.
I think that Burbridge, he needs to be kept on this team because of his ability to play this special teams gunner, punt return, because he is a very good special teamer. And, coaches love versatility in their skill players for their ability to play on special teams as well. And special teams, I think the team, offense, defense, they're pretty well-rounded right now.
Right.
So what needs to happen is special teams needs to, be good as well to, complete the team. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And Aaron Burbridge, okay, what I think is going to happen is the 49ers, they're going to keep Pierre Garçon, all right, maybe Pierre Garçon, Marquise Goodwin, Trent Taylor,
3.
All right, Kendrick Bourne,
4.
Dante Pettis,
5.
Richie James,
6.
And add a 7th receiver.
Are they going to have
Aaron Burbridge.
Are they going to have a 7th receiver? I've been talking about this with a lot of people. Did we carry 7 last year?
I'm not sure. I don't remember.
Somebody suggested that we had 7 last year because I'm thinking, is that one too many? And if we carry 7, I think it would be ideal because that flexes up a little bit, so allow a little bit more because you don't want. Because I understand Kendrick Bourne almost got cut last year because he pissed Kyle Shanahan off. And
wait, what happened? Let me. What happened with that there? Well, I didn't hear about it.
It was apparently Kendrick coming in late, and this was really getting on. And he's always missing meetings. I mean, it was gotten to the point where he's like, "Hey, are you here to play or what? What are you doing?" So they had a really hardcore meeting. It was really not bad. Kendrick became the ultimate citizen after that, as far as the 49ers team concerned.
Complete 180.
I mean, he started working hard, doing everything better. And actually, it was funny because Kyle Shanahan says, we were going to put him on the practice squad, but I knew somebody would pluck him immediately, so we went ahead and added him to the 53. And it paid off. Some miraculous catches during last season. Remember that. But here's the thing. He is now probably, everybody agrees, Kendrick Bourne belongs on that unit. So
Yes.
that's 5. Pettis is obviously going to make it. He's a second-round draft pick. You don't cut your second-round draft pick. You don't put him on the practice squad. So that's 5 solid right there. Now, is there going to be one more extra or 2? So that's what I'm saying. Do we get 7? Do we get 6? Because my guess is that you can feed him us. Dunbar is probably not going to make the team.
Yeah.
Burbridge makes the team over him. And for a while, I was thinking it's between Dunbar and Richie James. So I said, Richie James on that. But then all of a sudden, as I say, Burbridge comes into the picture. What is Aaron doing? He's making things difficult. He wasn't supposed to look this good.
I think,
you know? That's why I said, wow, who is it?
I think the smart choice is to add 7 receivers.
Yeah.
As I said before, because one of those guys, Aaron Burbridge, can also play special teams, and special teams is very important. Determining field position and everything, and that's very important for the defense. Help out the defense a lot, and I think it's smart. I wouldn't mind at all cutting another player on the bubble just to get Burbridge back in, because Burbridge, he's been on this team for some time, and he's a veteran by now, and I think that he deserves a spot.
Yeah, 3 years, huh? Yeah, 3rd year. Yeah, he's a vet.
Yeah.
I can't wait. I was going to say, what we're going to do? I'm going to save this for next time. Well, maybe, you know what? Let's go ahead and do it. Because I'm real concerned about the offensive line. You see, Aaron, it is actually the only Achilles heel on this team. We got so much depth at every position. If guys go down this year, they can be covered. But I'm looking at the right side of the offensive line. Cooper just can't seem to heal up. Joshua, in fact, Kyle Shanahan says, I was a little surprised he wasn't at practice yesterday. And now you get this, and you got Magnuson is there. Person, I look at Person, and he got smoked the other day. And I don't know if you weren't in attendance that one, but I'm reading up on the reports, and they said he just got beat right and left. I don't know if that's attributed to our defensive line getting better and better, or
I hope it is.
DeForest Buckner ate all day. Solomon Thomas can't be contained all of a sudden. So I said, Person, okay, that's going to be the option? Because Joshua Garnett is obviously going to fail. I don't know. What do you think? Is Joshua Garnett going to come out of the tailspin, pull up, and fly right? What's going to happen with him?
Well, Joshua Garnett, I read a report last week that, Eric Armstead, he was kind of destroying Garnett one-on-one. And that's not good news for Garnett, because this is a make-or-break training camp for Garnett, because Garnett, he really hasn't had his fair share of opportunities. He had a rookie season. He was fully healthy that season, but he didn't really play that well that season. But last season, he was injured. He was out the whole season, and so basically he's only had a couple of games to show for himself. But right now, I want to give Garnett another opportunity.
I wish he would.
But I think that Kyle Shanahan, I think they're trying to move on from this Trent Baalke era of picks, because that's a Trent Baalke pick right there. Yeah. And, Garnett, he's slimmed down 10, 15 pounds
20
to 20 pounds. That's crazy. To accommodate Kyle Shanahan's zone blocking scheme, and but he keeps on getting hurt. Armstead keeps on getting hurt. And
that's another story. God.
Yeah, that's another story for another time. But he has an injury bug, and I think Shanahan said that. Well, you don't have if you can't practice, if you can't be on the field, then you're not going to have a good chance of making the roster. Yeah. You're not going to have a good chance of making the team. So I don't think that Garnett has a great chance right now, but I really hope that they give him another opportunity, because I think that he has potential. He was great at Stanford, obviously. He was great at the local camp that the 49ers hosted for draft prospects in 2016 before the draft.
Yep.
All the beat writers attended that camp, and they all said that, oh yes, Joshua Garnett clearly the best guard there, best offensive lineman there, and you know it hurts to see Garnett's situation play out because I believe that he needs another opportunity, but I think he's gonna end up on another team later. Okay, but moving on.
He's fighting at the bottom line.
It's sad. It's tragic. This is playing out like a tragedy.
Jesus. But it is what it is. There's nothing to be done about it. He bumped knees from what I heard. These are the kind of accidents that happen to only certain kind of people, right? So Garnett bumps knees, he's out. He misses practices. Coach says today, I expect him to be there tomorrow. So, you got to man up on this team, apparently, because if Joshua Garnett does not come out tomorrow, I think Shanahan will probably make up his mind. A lot like he did when Carlos Hyde missed that touchdown pass. And I still think to this day, that was a day that Kyle Shanahan said, okay, I'm done with Carlos. I really think that was it. So Shanahan's got to think of making those quick decisions.
Like a perfect touchdown.
But these are the things that, with a team like this, you've got to be, your edge has got to be sharp or you're going to have to get cut because there's guys that are just doing too well and too many guys in too many positions and really quality depth this year. Gosh, I love this team.
I can't wait for the season to start. The whole time during practice today, I was thinking, I can't wait for them to get off this practice field and go to the stadium right behind it.
It's coming. It's coming. Hey, we're down to the last. I mean, we're looking at a month's worth of days left. Oh man, it's going to be great. Aaron Tan of Niner Noise. You'll see his editorials all the time. Aaron, you got something? I imagine you got something coming up really soon. So something to look forward to. What's going on with that?
Oh yeah, definitely. As a preseason, I'm gonna do recaps, analysis on all the players. Who's my predictions on who's gonna get cut, traded, et cetera, who's gonna make the roster. And when the season starts, I'm gonna have a ton of content out, and I'm really excited to share that with you guys because I am just very, very passionate about the Niners. I love this team, just like you, Ronbo. And I'm excited to get started, writing, about this team because that's what I love to do, to talk about this team, and I'm excited.
There's gonna be a lot of stuff to talk about too. And shout out to Peter Panassi too, your favorite guy and mine. All right, Aaron, it's time for that big scream. 3, 2, 1.
Niners!
Yes. We're all gonna be doing that a lot this year, all the time.
Of course. You know it, Ronbo.
Thank you, Aaron. Aaron Tan, let me remind you again, Niner Noise. You'll see him editorials. Aaron's got some nice, long, heartfelt write-ups, and he gets into it. And he doesn't just, he's just as passionate about the 49ers as we are. Oh, I've got good news. Victor Bolden's helmet that was found missing, was missing the other day. You know about that, right? It's been located. Yeah, they found it. And they're going to get it back to him. They've already gotten back to him now. So that drama's over. And, let's not do that again, please. Leave the equipment alone. The 49ers have been gracious and nice enough to let us come on out there and join them every day. Like, that's a wonderful thing. Let's not abuse it. And then, in this case, be your brother's keeper. If you actually see somebody doing something like that, don't let it happen. Just don't let it happen. If you can't stop them yourself, call security, but do not let that happen, all right? We need to keep an eye on each other, okay? As I said, we're a brother's keeper. Fam, hey, don't forget, hit that like. Of course. Share and subscribe, and I'll look forward. And I may see you in just a little while, because I'm crazy with this right now. So watch your notifications. I can be back any minute. Nice job with you. Please count me out.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Surrender the sacred stone.